Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every morning with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote every morning, which is by Oscar Wilde, that says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously." So waking up and thinking of that every morning just makes me realize I woke up, I'm alive, let's laugh a little. So, today's topic of conversation is basically life itself. I just kind of felt like I wanted to give you guys an update, because I know I'm pretty open about everything that goes on in my life, and so I just wanted to let you in on what's been happening as of late. So I recently posted a video on sobriety and had mentioned that I've pretty much been sober since right before Christmas. And that has been the case. I mean, it basically still is. And I say basically because in that video, I mentioned the fact that I was not going to make any declarations of any sort. Just, so I didn't want to say I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to smoke a joint or, do a line or something. But, it's been kind of neat that I've been able to stay away from all of that and not really miss it. I did, however, about a week ago when I threw my birthday bash, I did have a few drinks and, but I was fine with it because I said, you know what, it's my birthday, I'm going to do it. I wasn't going to beat myself up or even use the terminology of I had a slip. Because it was planned. I knew I was going to do that. And that was exactly a week ago and I haven't done anything since. And the funny part is that I haven't really missed it. I haven't been craving it because, I don't think that I've ever been one to have an addictive personality anyway. I get that sometimes when I do things, I can be a bit of an extremist, but I've always been able to even if I carry on a bit much on a particular day, then the next day I'm like, girl, and I know I need to recuperate and, not do it a while. So you always learn the lesson the hard way. But it's been really neat being, having this clarity. Now, I think in that same video, I may or may not have mentioned the fact that back in November, I actually hurt my ankle. I sprained my ankle really badly, rolled on it, and that put me out for probably a good 3-4 weeks where I was pretty much bedridden. I did manage to go to Palm Springs exactly a week after and had to get a wheelchair for all 4 legs of the way the 2 flights getting in, the 2 back. And, I pretty much just laid out by the pool with a big old bag of ice on my ankle. So, I was limited as to what I could do. That unfortunately made things worse. But then when I came back and I was still laid up for a couple of weeks because I was laying in bed with my leg elevated, and that was right when I had just created this channel. So I couldn't even, the first month, I couldn't even film any footage. But then I thought, well, let me at least, do what I can do on my computer to, prepare for it once I would be able to start shooting. So by virtue of having my leg elevated and being on the computer like that, I in turn screwed up my neck. So then all of a sudden, my neck was out of whack and oh my God, it was a nightmare. But then it was pretty much, the injury happened November 1st. So by the end of November was when I started shooting these videos. But it was right around that time that because my neck was messed up, I was feeling all of this pressure and then suddenly started getting I was always feeling a bit lightheaded. And there were moments where I kind of felt like I was going to faint. And there was this perpetual feeling of my head being in the clouds. And I couldn't shake that feeling. It was a bit rather disturbing because it would happen one time too many where I would just be sitting here and suddenly be like, whoa. And the room would start swaying or going to take the subway and, I have a tendency when I'm walking on the platform to not walk where all the people are, but a little closer to the actual track so you could get to the spot of the train you need to be at. And once or twice, I felt myself swaying while I was too close to the tracks. So I did end up seeing my doctor. They did an MRI and an MRA of my brain and neck just to rule anything major out. All of that was fine, but turns out I had something called inner ear vertigo, which basically means like in the middle of our ear, in the back of it, we have these like calcium crystals that are there. And if they shift out of place, those crystals being in the place that they are, that's what controls your balance. So when I tripped on my ankle and stumbled, instead of letting myself fall, I broke my fall, but I think because I stomped hard on my feet, that made those crystals kind of go out of place. And so I was like a bit of a wreck. It's only been about a week that's gotten back to normal, because and for the last like 5 weeks, I was doing what they call vestibular physical therapy, where like I was doing all these exercises that basically, helped me with your balance, and somehow miraculously made all of that go back to where it should have been. So it's been interesting, because the last 3 months that I've been filming these videos, I've been dealing with that. And so I've had moments where like, I'm like, wow, I can't shoot anything. So like, that's a lot of times, when I'm like, okay, good, I'm like feeling great today, I don't feel like I'm going to faint, I'll shoot like 6-8 videos just to, because then who knows, tomorrow that may not be the case. And that's sort of how I like to do it anyway. So the good news is I was discharged of the physical therapy, because that has normalized itself. So I'm happy about that. And then other things in life, like, I have elderly parents that I'm dealing with. So, as they get older, they need your help more. And, I love my parents to death. And so I spend a lot of time with them. They recently just flew to Ecuador. So thank God they made it there safe and sound. I had also mentioned on the video that I did where I speak about living with HIV, how I had been on Truvada and Icentris, and I wanted to either get off meds or switch to Biktarvy. So I did actually make the switch, and actually just started that new pill this weekend. It's currently Sunday, March, I don't know what today's date is, the 9th, I believe, or 8th. No, 9th, something like that. Daylight savings time just happened, so I know I lost an hour. So, but I started it this Friday, and, I would have started it like a week or so ago, but because I already knew that for my birthday, I was going to, have a couple of drinks, and I did a fundraiser that week, so I knew I was going to be in drag, and, I just suddenly knew I was going to be busy. I thought, let me let all of this like go by, and then be in a place where it's like, okay, I can breathe. The good news is I've been able to be a lot more social as well, because this inner ear vertigo prevented me from like, even just going out, which I felt bad, because I felt like I missed out on a lot of social things and couldn't support, certain friends had certain events going on, and I couldn't make some of them because I just was not in the right frame of mind, and frankly not feeling well enough to do it. But one thing that I did go see is, if you see from my t-shirt, Unitard. Oh my God, these guys are great. Nora, my girl Nora Burns, who I've known forever. They were at Joe's Pub. Their show was called Bad Assy, and they were incredible. So the next time, I think they're going to be in town again soon. I know they were just in LA, so you guys need to go check them out ASAP. They are brilliant. So anyway, what else I want to touch on? Well, honey, that's a lot. I don't know, that's pretty much been my life in the last few months. And, this YouTube channel has been a major part of it. And, I'm happy that now I'm well enough that I don't have to pick and choose when I could like actually film, because like now I'm like, wow, there's all of these things coming up, and, and you want to film them, and you want to be well enough to actually go enjoy these things and be an active participant in life as it were. So that's my update. You guys, thank you for being here. I know normally at the end of the video, I'm like, so what's your thought? So, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what question could I pose I guess, we all have things going on in our lives, and, sometimes we're a little more able to do more at certain points than other times. And that's great. If you do ever find yourself going through things, throughout all of this, the good thing is I stayed optimistic, because I kept telling myself, this too shall pass. Like, I knew I would get to a point where I wouldn't have that 24-hour feeling of my head being in the clouds and, frankly, hoping that I wouldn't fall or faint or have to, collapse. So I'm past that, and I'm grateful. So, all right, guys. But yeah, leave your comments. Maybe someone is going through something similar. Maybe someone else has had vertigo, which is not fun, whether it's inner ear vertigo or regular vertigo. Again, it's a bit debilitating. Can be. Thank God it wasn't totally with me, and I'm back to normal. Okay, guys, love you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, set your notifications, hit subscribe. Until the next time.